Good morning, everyone. Today, we have a new emblem event. It has been way long, really long, since our last emblem event. But this one seems to be, significantly easier than any emblem event ever before. My sources, aka Hyperion, told me that it's only 9 wins. Anyways, here's the deck I'm going to be using. Let's go over it real quick. So obviously, it's a Mega Altaria deck. Mega Altaria, a lot of HP, 2 energy, does a lot of damage. That's your game plan. Very straightforward. We're running 2 Chingling because Chingling is funny. Blocking item cards, good. No rare candy, no Pokeball. No fossils. No red card. Good. We use the 50 HP Sing Swablu because putting something to sleep, way more powerful than 20 damage. Also, I'm not sure about the HP, but 50 HP is important in this deck. So, I don't know if the 20 damage one has more or not. Didn't even check. Sing is just too good. We use Baby Altaria as our answer to Oricorio, if we need it. We use Elekid and Jirachi, a 1-1 split. This is not because I'm missing one of the two. It is intentional. I think if we're running 2 Pokeball and 2 Lycia, we can definitely afford to split these. We'll see the one we need when we need to. Elekid is nice because Elekid and Chingling being half the basics means we have a 50% chance to start on something with a 0 retreat cost and a 0 energy cost for its attack, which means we can turbo out Mega Altaria really quickly. But Jirachi is super important in a lot of matchups, especially the mirror. Being able to hit for 30 over 20 comes up, and having 50 HP over 30 also comes up. You know, Mega Blaziken starting to run heat more, it comes up in the mirrors. I think both Elekid and Jirachi are very good. If you are missing one of them, you can replace it with the other. You could just run 2 Elekid, you could just run 2 Jirachi, it's totally fine. I've done that in the past. We run 2 red card because a lot of the way this deck can win against Suicune is you're using Chingling to prevent them from going into their Greninjas, and then when they have a 10 card hand, because Suicune does that, you red card them and hope that they don't just get all the pieces back anyways. Alright, now we're going to talk a little bit about this bottom row of cards here. A lot of people will run 1 Cyrus, 1 Sabrina. I'm going to be honest, the amount of times where I've had a Cyrus in my hand and was like, I wish this was a Sabrina, it's happened maybe twice, and I've played easily over 100 matches with this deck already. However, the amount of times where I've had 2 Cyrus sitting in the bottom 5 cards in my deck and I just needed to win, way more than 2 times. Alright, Cyrus is just so much better than Sabrina, I think, personally. If you want to run a Sabrina, you absolutely can. May, the reason we're on May and not Copycat is because we are on Altaria and not Sableye. The reason we're on Altaria and not Sableye, I like to go an extra turn without committing energy into a specific game plan. If we go directly, say we had Mega Altaria and Altaria in our hand, right, and a Swablu on the bench, we put the energy on the Swablu, and we still have another turn to decide whether or not we're going into the Baby Altaria to deal with an Oricorio, or if we're evolving it into a Mega. I also just don't like having a chance of leading on a Sableye. That always feels bad. I don't like being able to get Sableye out of a Pokeball. That also feels bad, especially when, you have, you used a Alicia, you led a Jirachi or something, and after Alicia you get, Chingling, Elekid. You really want that 66% chance to get the Swablu over a 50% chance off of the Pokeball. May is going to help us, though, in this list over a Sableye list, In a Sableye list, you'd maybe want Copycat because you don't have a real draw engine. In our list, we're running double Licia, so Licia is our draw engine. We're going to always have all our basics. And then we use May to basically guarantee that we find which Altaria we need. Another neat thing to think about with this deck is that it has exactly 6 basics, meaning that no matter how many they kill, we have exactly enough basics that we can always put down enough to get the maximum value out of the 2 Altaria's attacks. We can go over some quick matchup techs. So in the Suicune matchup, like I said earlier, you're going to want to really just Chingling them down. You don't want to necessarily play out all your basics, because if Suicune is attacking, you want it to do less damage. But you're probably gonna try to spend the first few turns, if possible, using Chingling to prevent them from playing their Pokeballs and their rare candies onto their Froakies, and then we're going to do a massive red card and start hitting them. If we're lucky, they don't hit their Irida. A lot of Suicune has dropped one of their Iridas for Greninja EX. So if you can Chingling, and if they don't caper Irida, it puts them at 130. You can then go into Altaria ASAP and clear the lead Suicune. In the mirror match, a big Jirachi really helps because you can kill enemy Chinglings and Elekids. If they're on the Elekid version, you can start hitting the Swablu. You like these guys hitting Swablus, right? You want to hit their Swablu, they're going to hit your Swablu with their Jirachi or Elekid. I think a big factor in the mirror, I am super positive in the mirror. I don't keep track of all the games, but I mean, I have to be at at least a 70% win rate into the mirror from my 100 games, it feels like. And the biggest difference I see in my play versus enemy Altaria players is they evolve their Swablus. I will hold the Mega Altaria in my hand for I don't know how long. I will never, unless I'm attacking, if I need to attack with Mega Altaria, never evolve it, because if they Cyrus up your Mega Altaria and get first hit on it, it's over. You've lost the game. You have to hit their Mega first, right? So I would rather, have 2 Swablus down, each with 1 energy, and have them Elekid poking at them, and then they, misplay, put their Altaria down, they evolve theirs, or put it up to start hitting. Then I can just go into mine and hit them. And the first Mega Altaria swing onto an enemy Mega Altaria swing, that's how the game's decided. Well, for the most part. You could always cheese out a win if you get your Altaria hit and you put up a Swablu in Sing and they just stay asleep, and then you can go back into your Mega Altaria and attack 2 turns. If they just stay asleep for 7 turns or whatever, sure. But yeah, most of the time, you just don't want to evolve your Swablu unless you're going to be hitting their Mega with your Mega. Another situation I've actually seen in the mirror, though, is I have seen people in the mirror evolve the Altaria I hit with Jirachi. They evolve it into the baby Altaria, and then they have the other Swablu down. So I just hit that Swablu with Jirachi on the following turn, and then I can go into my Mega, even if they haven't put theirs down, and just Cyrus up the other Swablu, kill it. Then they have no Swablus left to evolve into a Mega Altaria. So from there, they lose. They can't do anything. They're not getting through a Mega with just a baby Altaria. The 3 best decks right now, we've gone over Suicune, we've gone over Altaria. Now we're going to go over the Absol Oricorio matchup. For Absol Oricorio, you can do a few things. So you can Jirachi, the ways you usually win is you can use Jirachi to clear their Pichu. They'll then come up with their Oricorio, clear your Jirachi. You can put up Helikid, hit, I don't know, their Darkrai. You can just Cyrus the Darkrai in and kill it with Mega Altaria. That's the game. That happens sometimes. The issue with that game plan is they usually run 2 PCL. Some have cut 1, but I think that's incorrect. I think that deck really wants to run 2 PCL. I think that deck has a much better matchup if they are running 2 PCL into Altaria. That's one game plan. You can also just use, like, you know, they don't necessarily always get the Oricorio Pichu right away, too, so you can, like, maybe start beating up their Absol with, like, the Jirachis and Elekid's, and then, like, Cyrusiden for the win. That's another way to win that matchup. And then other than that, it's, like, really you can just, like, Jirachi Pichus and kill the Oricorias with Baby Altaria. Those are kind of the ways you win that matchup. Anyways, now that I've gone over the 3 most popular decks, I'm going to start the 9 win streak event. Or, it's not even a win streak, it's just 9 wins. Guys, you can get 9 wins, I promise, especially if you're running this deck. We're gonna do 9 wins, and watch us not queue into any of the meta decks I just talked about. Okay, we immediately queue into Suicune, actually. Hand's okay. We get to lead Chingling, which is nice. Unfortunately, they're going first, which means they will get to use Pokeballs this turn, but, you know, if they put Froakies down, they're not going to be able to rare candy. Wow, they didn't even get a Froakie. That's rough. We're going to Licia here to thin the deck. Hopefully we can research into a red card next turn, perhaps. I think we put down Elekid. Might be incorrect, because they can't attack next turn anyway, so it's okay if they are still on Repel or Sabrina or whatever and push us up. Oh, immediately going into the back there, I see. Okay, we really want to find a red card, because that's a big-ass hand. There it is. Lucky day. So we are just going to go for it, since we did get the red card. And we do have, everything, I guess. Yeah, we're going to put down the Swablu. Red card. Their 9-card hand, as always. We'll research here. Maybe we should have Elysia'd, but I'd rather find... Okay, this was like, actually, we should have definitely Elysia'd first. That was terrible. But, because now we have no basics left in the deck. And our opponent may have Rage Quit. Understandable. That's just an unfortunate thing to happen to you.
One hour later.
They didn't have it. Well, there's there's game 1. See what we are playing against. This guy has Pokeball emblems, which means he's a wild card. Psychic energy. Maybe it's a mirror. Unfortunately, we have to lead Swablu, but at least we're going second. It's not a mirror, it is a Giratina. Well, it still could be a mirror. Some people are playing Giratina and Indeedee in Altaria. I genuinely think that my way is just correct, though. Like, my list, whoa. Dark Tina, but with Psychic Energy? Well, guys, there is no Elo in this emblem event, I suppose. We're just gonna, Licia here to thin the deck out a lot. We definitely want Jirachi and Chingling and probably the other Swablu. We're just going to... I don't think it ever matters, but we're gonna sing anyways. This is never gonna matter. I think there's a good chance I retreat into Jirachi, actually, if I don't get my Mega. Oh, he didn't attach energy. I see. How many basics do we have left? So we have 5 here. This Lysia pulls out 1 basic. We have another Pokeball also. I think I would rather just try to get the Mega here and start hitting. Okay, yeah. This is worth, because, like, he didn't have any energy here. Yeah. I don't think that was, like, a real game, though. The guy's... I mean, had a lot... That guy had a lot of things he had to work out. Against grass again, huh? I think we can play out the Swablu. I don't trust non-master, but whoa. This guy's cooking. Are you kidding me? I've been seeing people in the Discord playing this, like... Hell yeah. Honestly, shout out to this guy. Gonna research here. Gonna Pokeball. See what we get. I'm tempted to red card them here. No real reason, just because they're kind of cooked. I just want to get more cards. Like, if I get hand ripped, I just want to have less cards in my deck, basically. This is why I red card. Alright, with that energy being on front and us having the Mega Altaria, they just lose. Yeah. Really fast games, guys. Alright, we are playing against probably Blaziken here. Yeah, a lot of people like Blaziken. It's probably the most overrated deck to come out of this set, I would say. Like, hands down. We got 2 Pokeball in the opening hand. I guess that's okay. Would really rather see, like, Lysia. Lysia, if you see that in your opening hand, is how seeing Oak in your opening hand has felt for the first year of this game. Would rather, like, the number 1 card I want to see is Lysia, you know? May is okay. Let's see what we get. Another Chingling. Uh-oh. Really hope this is Swablu. It's like a 50-50. Okay, it is. We're gonna Jingly Noise. We're keeping this Chingling in hand for May. But it feels bad Maying this early in this deck. You really want to get, like, Lysia off first. Right, we only have 4 of our 9. This is actually kind of nice. I'm going to research here. I don't care that he wasted that. We're going to just go into this. Red card, because that play tells me they probably had, Candy Mega there. We want to put them on, they need Candy, Mega, and Flame Patch to attack. If they want to go into Torchic, they don't have it, so they go into Entei, which means we can hit this Entei once with this Altaria, and hopefully we'll be Cyrusing it in later to win the game. Alright, we find the Swablu. We're gonna Lycia here to get whatever our Jirachi and Elekid out. Put the energy here, and now our May next turn guarantees that we get the guy. May next turn guarantees that we get the Mega, so it kind of doesn't matter what this player does. They can kill this Altaria, that's fine. Just in case I'm doing the math, like, no, it's 100% we get Mega here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah, it is guaranteed that we get 2 Mega Altaria off this May. So we'll do that. Put back a Altaria and an Elekid. And we win the game. Four wins now. Playing Psychic Energy again. This is another really bad hand. Another Giratina too. Interesting. Hopefully we can top deck Lycia. That is basically the top deck we want to see here. If we lose to this, guys, if we lose to this, the video ends. I'm not even going to. Oh god, this is terrible though. At least we have May. It's just really, it feels so bad Maying like this. But this is a significantly better hand. This way. We just need to, now we don't have May to find our Mega Altaria, we just kind of have to hope we get it off of research. I'm aware that they're gonna heal. Totally fine. We just want them to not play Pokeballs, is sort of why I'm doing this. I am confused as to what their deck probably is, or could be. Wow. Well, I have a feeling that they're not playing anything that can get powered up enough to punish this. Because they'd have to put a energy on here to attack. And so they have no way. I don't think they can attack me 2 turns in a row. They cannot afford it. Okay, they have Indeedee. But again, they're not going to be able to attack in time with Indeedee, assuming I find another basic. I still have 2 Pokeball, 2 Lycia, and 3 basic in my deck. That is not going to change the math on anything. I was going to die to an Indeedee attack regardless, I believe. I guess they could assume that I'm running healing or something. That is not the case, though. Okay, we did find another basic, so... This indeed he can't attack. It's looking pretty over for them. They would need to put up something. They would need to put up another Giratina. I don't see a way they win. Yeah, some people don't, like, realize they've lost for a while. Jirachi plus second red could have killed me, which is funny if they had it on the field before, but it does not look like that is the case now. Yeah, some people just take a really long time to lose the game, but it is what it is. What is that, 5? Did we get 5 already? It has been not that long. These games are real quick. I love Altaria, guys. Yeah, grass is, unless you're playing Decidueye, is a terrible, terrible thing to play right now. Buzzwole is really not good. Okay, Decidueye. Decidueye is pretty good, guys. The Owl is actually pretty good right now. It's really good into the Absol deck. It's really good into the what's it called deck? Into Suicune. We need to get some cards out of our hand, so we're gonna red card. We're gonna Chingling. It needs to kind of see everything and go second into Altaria. So this is, like, not really looking good for them. However, they do get the copycat play to go to 4. This is why we red carded at least once, because they should be running 2 copycat. So I wanted to have a 4-card hand, not a 5-card hand for them. Okay, now we need to find another basic to clear this next turn. If we do clear this next turn, it's really rough for them, though. Alright, we definitely guarantee the basic off of Licia. We get 2 basics off Licia, that's nice. Well, obviously. We're just gonna play them out. I maybe should have saved a slot for another Swablu. Also, I maybe should have red carded there because they might have another copycat. They can play out like a cape copycat, and then they're drawing 3 new cards, so it's maybe not the best. They didn't have it though. Yeah, like I said, like the Owl is definitely like a good, I wouldn't say it's like top tier. It's not one of the top 3 decks, but it's one of the decks that has a good matchup into some of the top 3 decks, which makes it definitely viable. Six wins. Alright, we're against fighting. The only meta fighting deck right now is Rampardos. And okay, I guess Garchomp's okay. Rampardos is much better. Chingling really destroys that matchup, though. We have the Licia Pokeball start, which means we are really thinning the shit out of our deck. Yeah, we have all of our basics in hand. We're gonna put down Chingling. We're gonna put down, I think, both Swablus. And we're going to not let him evolve. I think this guy's probably running the fossils as well, so we can't put down fossils when we use Chingling. Chingling is really good against these decks for that reason. So not being able to rare candy or play your fossil here is kind of really sad. It is really a bad thing. So we're just gonna evolve and Chingling again, and I don't think there's really anything he can do. He needs he needed Gibble less, or yeah, he can't do anything actually. He needs to find another Gibble right now. Chingling just wins games, guys. Like, Chingling is actually, like, super OP. One of the reasons Mega Altaria is really good right now is because of Chingling. It gets to run Chingling, which means it just, it gets wins like that. You know? This is, like, sort of very reminiscent of, like, you know, 18T Articuno, where it's just like, it's already good, but sometimes it just gets free wins. Like, every once in a while, it's just gonna get a free win. Anyways, we're at 7. We are against another, probably Blaziken. Chingling, we get Chingling in the opening hand, we would win here. This could be it. Let's see. It is it. Alright. Now we just, we Chingling and they cry, I guess. And we definitely sacrifice the Chingling here, if we can. Because, they will not be able to, ooh, we got another another Chingling on top of it. Yeah. Even if we had to sacrifice the Chingling there, we do, because they could only evolve into combustion, whatever the fucking stage 1 is, and that's... They can't Lily it, it's gonna be at 70 HP, even if we didn't have another guy. We would still clear with Mega Altaria. So, yeah, in this situation, he kind of just loses. He couldn't play his Pokeballs. Yeah, he's attaching the energy there. It's kind of over. Yeah, Chingling, again, just wins you a game. Just like that. Alright. We are at 8 wins. Can we get it in an hour? Let's find out. We are against, it looks like Espeon box. Interesting. They're going first, which is kind of nice for us. We have Baby Altaria in hand, so there's a chance they'll just attach to front and sing. No matter what here. Yeah, this is gonna be Espeon box. They have all EVs. I don't know if this is gonna be Altaria. I don't know if you have space for Altaria with 3 EVs. Let's Pokeball. You can play down the Chingling, and then we're gonna sing. Hopefully this may, I mean, we could may to try to find a guy, a Mega. It's not super likely yet because we didn't use any of our Lycias, so we might want to hold it. interesting that they chose to evolve there. They do need to evolve this turn, because the threat of the Mega hitting this with a full bench for 2 points, the Cape was, like, not good there. They are drawing their whole deck, though, so it is likely they'll find it. Unfortunately, you know, they get double Research, double Ball, double Sylveon, and we get singular Pokeball. So that is the way things go sometimes, I guess. Ooh, we get it off the top. We're gonna meta try to find another basic here, then. And we do. So, all their attackers require, except for Baby Espeon, require 2 energy, which means we're safe to actually just hit this. Because if they commit the energy here, they're never healing out of the next hit. So if they commit the energy here, they're not going to be able to attack next turn unless they're in Baby Espeon, which won't do enough damage, and we clear, so they lose the game. But yeah, like, so they attach here, attack for 80, I clear them, then they have to put an energy and not attack on something, or attack with Baby Espeon, which loses. Even with Cape, right? I think Baby Espeon naturally has like 100 HP, or like 110, so 130 still clears. They went with Sylveon, still not going to be enough. They're not going to be able to attack next turn, even, if they want to attack with this. So, even if they, like, Sabrina and clear one of the babies, this gets cleared, right? 110, no, it does 100. We would need to find another baby. But yeah, they attack, they're never going to have enough energy to win this game from here. We just win it. And we'll even play down this. So if we want to, we can retreat. If we find, I guess they'll have a Cyrus regardless, but they're not attacking next turn. Yeah. And so they could have, like, done 130 with the Baby Sylveon, but that requires 2 energy. They would have had to put it up and attach to it. It would have died. Or they would have had to put up another Sylveon to charge it in the back, but then that Sylveon would require an energy to retreat. So again, they are literally never able to attack us again after committing the energy onto the Espeon. We outpaced them. That's it. We just going second, they couldn't do anything. And that is the Emblem event, I believe. Yeah, 9 wins. It's that easy, guys. Takes an hour. An hour. That's it. I did lose 2 games in that hour. Just bricked. Happens. I'm probably just going to cut them out. They weren't super informational on how the deck functions. It's just a brick's a brick, you know. But yeah, that's it. Enjoy, guys.